Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about movies, TV show, and music, and any other interesting topics. Today's episode is going to be about the new album by rap artist Kodak Black called Painted Pictures. So, I'm going to give my verdict first. I gave this album about a C. Plus. I actually thought it was well produced, and it has some good songs on it. I just think I wanted more variety in what he was talking about, and I wanted him to challenge himself more as a rapper. And less mumbling and whining. But no shade to Kodak Black fans. That was the only thing that kind of pulled away from some of the songs. Like I thought they would be better if he didn't do that. Michael, what about you? What would you grade this album?
Before I even get to that, let me preface that this is from a guy from the outside looking in. I kept an open mind. I was on my best behavior. I was like, all right, it's Kodak. Not my cup of tea, not my kind of music, not my kind of hip hop. And I went in there and I wasn't okay. Now, this is a first in the history of this podcast where I'm just going to say I straight up did not like this album. I don't know if it deserves a grade. I don't know where it categorizes it with me. Like even trying to be like objective or subjective to it, I just could not get in the position to like this album. I liked a grand total of two songs on this album. I tried to reach for a third to round out my top three, and I could not. So this album is an absolute failure to me.
So what's the grade then?
Oh, it's an F. It's this absolute failure. It's an F.
Oh, I thought you were gonna give it like a D or something, but no, you just straight up
No,
failed in this album.
no,
Okay.
no. Just take the album back and do something else. Production, song quality, repetition. I don't know if all of those were in line for me to give it an actual grade. I mean, granted, I'll have to admit this could be coming from somewhere of a negative bias towards it because like I
Could be.
do not like Kodak Black's musics, even the ones that people say are his best work. I'm like, it's just not for me. But I digress. We'll get into that later.
Okay, well, top three is gonna be very interesting because I at
I
least
got
had
top two.
three.
No, I got two.
Okay, so I'll do my third and then my second, and then you start with your second.
All right.
Okay, so my third is the one that I know Michael hates. It's Tunnel Vision, and
I kept
I
my mind the most open for that one too, and I was like, nah, it's not happening today. Nope.
okay, and here's the thing: it's so catchy that I can't help but like it. That's why I like it. I know there's no lyricism. I know he has no bars. I'm not even sure what the song. Well, I know what the song's about. He has his mind focused on one thing basically, and I understand that. But I even wrote in my notes, it's catchy, stupid song, but I give no fucks. I fuck with it. At the end of the day, I still like this, and it has a really good beat. But I could say that about every song in this album. The beat was amazing. It probably could have done more with a more capable rapper, but the beat on every song was amazing. So my number two, Candy Paint, featuring Bun B. Now, again, this song was another one that was catchy. One of my favorite lyrics in the song, which is actually by Bun B, which I think his verse outshined Kodak Black. Just saying. I don't know if anyone agrees with me. And he comes in about like the 2 minute mark, and he says everybody wants to be something that they ain't. And I thought that was a really good line, and it kind of fits the paint. It kind of fits the song, where it's basically like, oh, you want everybody wants this, yada yada, but you ain't really this. And so I guess that rounds up my top. My second choice. What is your number two, Mr. Brown?
You know what? Tell you what. I'm actually gonna put Candy Paint at my number three. For example, I completely forgot that. Yeah, Bun B was like one of my favorite parts of that song. I'm sorry, is my favorite part of that song, and I feel like I haven't heard from him in a while. And I feel like um, this is kind of one of the rappers. Like as far as the features go, there's two other rappers who I feel like kind of helped him out because he needed help. This is not one of them things he should tackle on his own. But I agree. I think number three would be Candy Paint for me as well. Number two, I'm actually gonna give to this first song, Day by Day, only because it sounded like a different side of like Kodak kind of music. I did not mind it. It was a good introduction to me, even though like it said The problem with this song though, it was a good introduction to me for the album. This is one of the high points of the album for me, and then that's literally it. I think my number one is probably the only thing that topped it out, which is a dang shame compared to where it's actually at on the album compared to this. But this set me up to think, Michael, you're going into this wrong. You actually like the first song, but we're moving to my number one in a second, and
All
I'll
right.
show you why.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about Day by Day because that's actually an honorable mention for me. You know what he reminded me of on this track? Old school Lil Wayne was he when he was in Hot Boys. This is exactly what
I
he
can believe that.
reminded me on that.
I can believe that.
And the song's like it's basically about he missed his fallen friends, the ones that die. And he Kodak actually had a good line in it where he was like, "For everyone that did me wrong, I want revenge." And I thought that was a really good line for him in the song, and he had really good punchlines, and it's probably one of his best lyrical moments on this entire album. And so my number one, I think we might have the same number one. I don't
Probably,
know.
probably.
Feeling Like featuring Young Jeezy. It's my number one.
Oh, really? Okay, no, let's say number one then.
One, I thought it was probably Kodak's best verse on the song on this album. It's a hard ass song. Young Jeezy came in very strong. Like I was like, whoa. And you kind of showed that I appealed more to Young Jeezy on this song, but it was really amazing. And again, the beat was on point. So I love this song. Do you have anything to say about Feeling Like before you get into your number one?
Same as you. I was there for Jeezy. Jeezy was pretty much the only draw I had in that song, and I feel like it should have just been Jeezy's song on your album because I feel like there's just a point where it's like I feel like Jeezy got a smaller part than Young Thug did on his other song because Young Thug took another. I know I'm jumping around here, but like Young Thug took up like about half of a song where like he did Young Thug's thing, and I could not hear him. And I feel like that was just a garbage combination of two rappers right there. But that's just me. I'm not a rapper. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. I kind of wanted more Jeezy out of that because I feel like Jeezy was the one saving grace out of that song. But it's whatever.
And what's your number one?
All right, right. My number one is actually Cool It, Coolin, because
Coolin'
this
and
beat
Booted?
was that the rest of it.
It's Coolin' and Booted.
Oh, okay, dang. Okay, I'll see. Maybe part of it got cut off in my title, but yeah, Coolin and Booted. I couldn't. My number one song. I don't even got the correct song name down for it apparently. But yeah, Coolin and Booted was probably my favorite song on it. The beat was probably my favorite beat on the entire album. It was also catchy. It was also where I think Kodak was like, it didn't fall into that. It didn't fall 100% the way into that trope of, the four main, gangster rap topics being like, bitches, money, drugs, or shooting. And I feel like this one just kind of landed in a really comfortable area for that. Because I know as soon as he Kodak hits those things, I'm gonna get drawn out. Like, don't get me wrong, I can listen to songs about that, but it's like when Kodak does it, I just don't get that feeling. But yeah, I don't know. And the thing I was saying about number one, the first song on the album about is setting the bar. This was the only song that kept above that bar, which is a dang shame because it's the second song. So technically, my top three are the first three songs on the album,
Yeah.
and it was 15 more songs of just work. That's how I felt. I was like, yo, this feels like almost. I don't know. You know how you feel sometimes when you pick up someone else's iPod and like they have like a just a not good selection of things that you really like vibe with. I did that for 15 songs straight. If I had like iPod on shuffle, someone else's iPod on shuffle, I caught all 15 songs that they might have just said, "Oh yeah, that's just one of them songs I have on my iPod, just not have on my iPod." Like it's not because you have it because of quality, or you have any like some certain connection with it. It's just some song you probably forgot you had on the iPod. All these songs, as you're about to find out, are just gonna be remembered by me only for the sake of this podcast, and hopefully I can like get rid of what I just went through because it honestly felt like work for me to go through the rest of the album after these three songs, which sucks. Because these first three songs, I was like, okay, the album, you were wrong, Michael. You were wrong. You owe Shanique an apology in this podcast. Didn't happen. Moving on.
Okay, it's funny that you like Kool Aid and Buddha because I hate that song. Well, I don't hate it. I just thought it was okay. I thought he mumbled so much in it, I didn't even understand what the fuck he was saying.
I
So I'm
agree, but I feel like I agree. I feel like he moved on a lot in most of the songs anyway. But I also agree.
also
He did
I
this.
never understood what booted meant. Told me.
See, I'm just catching that part now, so I can't even really comment on it.
I was like, what the hell does booted mean? Is that a slang? I don't know, apparently. Because I was like, what the hell? I get what cooling means, but I don't know what booted means.
Yeah.
You know, okay. So I looked it up on. It means to get high. So I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. It means to get
Okay.
high. So he's chilling and getting high. Okay. But I thought it had no lyrical content. I didn't understand what the fuck he was saying. But again, the beat was on point. Whoever made the beats for his songs, good shit, man. You did your thing. I doubt it was Kodak.
Uh,
Excuse me. The next song we're gonna talk about is Up in Here. I'm gonna go first because I apparently have only nice things to say about this song. So one, again, the good beat. There was some questionable lyrics in here,
very questionable lyrics. I'm
like there,
glad you said something.
yeah, and like I actually thought his flow was okay and his delivery, but the lyrics was like so weird. No, one of the lyrics I wrote it down because I'm not sure if I would want that in real life. But he said, "Making that pussy feel like mac and cheese?"
I
Question mark.
Shanique, stop right there. I lie to you not. In my notes, like we're if the people on the podcast listening right now, just understand that we're not in the same room doing this podcast. We're doing over Skype. Understand that I have the very same lyric written down on
What
my
does it
paper.
mean? I don't know what
I
it
was
means.
like, I
Why'd
was
you?
like, oh,
I don't
huh?
know. I don't know what making it feel like mac and cheese means, but okay.
I don't know either, and I'm glad that we both like saw the same thing in the song because I was like, mm no, like first of all, nothing bothered me in the song, and then the lyrics were just took it down another notch. I was like, it's taking a ladder going into the ground. That's what this song was for me. I was like, nah, son, I don't know or want to know what that even metaphorically means to make a pussy feel like mac and cheese. Moving forward, though,
Yeah, and then his I thought he had little corny punchlines, but it was funny to me when I was listening to it, and that's maybe why I enjoyed it. He made me laugh a lot. He said, "I ain't Millie, but rocking in here. I ain't Nelly, but it's hot up in here." And I was like laughing at it because I thought it was a fun play on words. But again, this song felt to me just for a party. Like you're gonna see like the hardest guy in the club, Millie rocking, to this song. But again, there's no real lyrical content, but there's some sus lyrics. Like I was like, but I enjoyed the song. I had no problem with it actually. It's one of the better songs. To me, like the second half of the album is the struggle bus for me. Not really the first half, except for like the last two songs, which I mentioned. One of them and like feeling like, and then actually the last three songs didn't bother me that much. Is after we get to um past tunnel vision to before the last three, the struggle was real. But we'll get there. What do you think of Up in Here? Do you have anything more to say about Up in Here?
no, I pretty much got my 2 cents out about the song. Not my favorite. His I don't know what the subject matter of this really was outside of obviously sex, but his play on the words for the song was just a little weird for me and super sus. Don't know what mac and cheese got anything to do with pussy. He's doing it. He's doing something wrong, but you know what? That's where I'm at. I'm just leave it right there for real.
All right, next song we're gonna talk about is "You Ain't Never." Now, it took me a while. Like when I first read, it, I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Like he had a line called what was it? "Creeping for that Skrilla," and I was like, I don't know what that means. Like I don't really know. But from at least what I gather of the song, one again, amazing beat. I really wish it was a stronger rapper for these beats that he was using, but I digress. It was basically a song about flexing, saying you ain't never gonna have what I have. Took me a while to figure it out because some of his metaphors were like, what the fuck? But other than that, I have nothing else to say about it. What do you think?
I got a completely different take from this song because at first I wanted to like it, and then it's another thing where it's like I agree the beat was kind of nice on this one too, but it's another thing where it's like as someone listening to an album, especially like a hip hop album, I'm listening to lyrics, and I did catch pretty much what the song was trying to say. It's pretty much say, yeah, you're flexing, but you ain't never done like things that I've done in the hood, to, like get by and all this kind of shit. Like you ain't never what's the name, had a lick. You ain't never robbed somebody. You ain't never shoot somebody. Like he's pretty much saying you ain't never done criminal. I rewrote the song name as you ain't never done criminal shit because that's literally what he's saying. Like, yeah, I get it. We're from the hood, and you're definitely like saying your point of view. Like you go through different struggles than everybody else. But he's just saying you ain't never done X, Y, or Z. I'm like X, Y, or Z kind of sucks, bro. Like you have police problems because you did do X, Y, and Z. I don't know, yo. This song, I wanted to like the song at first, but then I get drawn out the more I listen to it, and I listened to this album hard because I wanted to believe that I was not giving this album a good enough try. But then everything after the first three songs kind of threw me out the way. But it's whatever.
All right. And here's my first sus song of the album.
Oh yeah,
28.
oh
28.
yeah.
Now, it's about being in love with a 28-year-old and he's 20. I think he was 19 when he made the album. So I'm like, okay, whatever. At least you're an adult. And it's basically about him being pussy whipped about this girl. It's a
Hmm.
little repetitive, but I know it will go off in
Very,
the club.
very
Where
refer.
he was like, hey. He kept doing that. I'm in love with my bae, hey. He kept doing that type of thing throughout the entire song. And I was like, okay, I've never really seen a rapper make a song about being pussy whipped. At least he actually says, I'm pussy whipped in this song. And I was like, all
Hmm.
right, cool, I guess. The title threw me off. I didn't know it would be about that, but I guess whoever his girlfriend, good shit. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to say about this song. What do you think?
I tried to like it for its catchiness because like at first the whole 28 thing play was almost okay for me, and then I realized it was probably about 75% of the song, and I was like, nope, throw it out. Because oh man, he finds something good in the song, and then he latched onto it, and then I was like, nothing else really worked for me. Like I got the main point of the story, the main point of the song, but then the chorus felt like it just dragged on forever and ever. I almost there was a point where I listened to the song where I almost was wanted to skip forward because I knew what the rest of the song was going to be. It's going to be him saying 28 over and over again, and I was like, dang, I can't do this, and I stuck through the entire song because I believed he wouldn't have done that. I got proven wrong, but you know what? I kind of walked into this album, so it's okay.
Hey,
I
this was
wanted to
your
get proven
pick.
wrong. Yeah, you're right. I wanted to get proven wrong. I wanted to, say, Michael, you need to give these other rappers a decent, try. But then, I did, and I was like, dang, I'm almost solidifying my point now that this will never end up being on my in my music collection. But it's whatever. Moving on. Patty cake.
Okay, Patty Cake. Now, again, amazing beat. Like I said, whoever produced the beats for this song, you did what you were supposed to do. But it's sus. This song is sus. Like he has a lyric: "Snatch a baby girl and skeet on her face." I don't even
Yeah.
know why. I know why it's called Patty Cake, but the song makes no sense. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. And like the worst sus line he has, it's like he's like, "I'm the shit," like stains in my drawers, and I'm like, nigga, what? Like, why would you write that in a song? But it's catchy, and I know that everyone will be in the club dancing to this, even to that part. But that sus lyricism, I was like, what? But again, I still enjoyed the song, but I had to sigh eye some of the lyrics. What about you? What do you think of Patty Cake?
I thought the piano on the beat was excellent.
Yes.
That's probably one of my favorite parts of this song. I came close to liking it until I started listening to the song. Once again, sus lyrics are to be found everywhere. And it was pretty much saying like patty cake like this how I something about like the clap is how I shoot a nigga or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the actual like word for word here, but something like that, something like patty cake. The clapping and patty cake relates to shooting a guy, and I'm like, okay, that's a interest. I'm not gonna say it's just a weird way. I'm saying it's an interesting way to take on like shooting niggas because let's be honest, a lot of rap has been about shooting niggas, but this I've never heard it being taken on in a freaking hand game that people play, that kids play in like middle school and below.
Patty Cake, bakers, man.
Yeah, and you're right. I started listening to the song like I said, and then my head got drawn out, and this is the point where I'm starting to get heartbroken because I'm like, one, I realized what the rest of the albums were probably going to be now, and two, I gave this freaking song a chance. Like this one in 28, I definitely gave the biggest chances to, other than the ones with features on them, because I really hope the feature song took it up, and some of the features did come through. But this song was not one of them that I feel like on his own did anything for me. And maybe I'm just in the wrong kind of club. Like I don't go clubbing for guys in the podcast. Like I don't go clubbing. But like I do play music out loud to like create like a vibe in my house, something like that, to get me in the mood to do something. This is not one of them songs that get me in the mood to do shit, but turn the song off. But moving on,
Yeah, and honestly, about the features thing, Bun B and Jeezy are the only ones that came through. I ain't like the other two. But
I thought I'll get to when I get there. It's okay.
yeah. Next one, Save You. This is emotional Kodak Black.
Yeah,
And I wish he would turn his emotions back off because I did not like this song. Like, there was so much mumbling. I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. And then, honestly, his singing on this track, no. Just no. But it had a good beat though, and I think I'm gonna have that comment every damn song. What about you? And like I'm not struggling yet. I'm gonna tell you when I was struggle busting through this album, but not right now. I know Michael started struggle busting long before I did, but
very early, very early. My
what do
struggle
you
bus is
think?
still going on.
What do you think of Save You?
The sing rapping was not. I'm not a fan of the sing rapping at first because the beat was a lot slower than the song that came before it. I was like, okay, maybe he'll come down from the overly hard, nasty or violent gangster shit that he's been saying about like mac and cheese pussy or like baby faces or whatever. I'm like, okay, sure, maybe this song will tone him down, which it did, because it was definitely about girls or something like that. Like he was definitely in his feelings about some. I can't even really say I was listening to the lyrics on this one because I was like taken aback by the sing rapping, and I was like, it's kind of weird to see Kodak Black try to be Drake, and that's just not a combination that I don't think was needed for this album. Because I feel like the slowest it really needed to be, honestly, in my opinion, was on one later song. But I feel like on my first three day to day, I feel like that's as slow as he needs to be, or like as emotional as he needs to be in any of his songs. Because you can't come from saying hard shit like you've been saying on this album to making this song about some girl and your emotions about it. And I'm like, yo, you don't get to come down on it like that, yo. That's a weird transition to make, and that transition fucked me up because I'm like, this is halfway through the album, and now you're throwing this in there. Oh well.
All right, and now here's our second feature of the album, Conscience, featuring Future. Now here's the thing. I had a couple issues with this song. I still thought it was okay. There was a part where there was too much auto tune from Future,
Definitely.
but and I like actually when he toned down the auto tune and did a little bit of the singing, talking about the streets took my conscience. I was like, all right, Future, I'm okay with you. I wasn't okay with your verse though, because he had too much auto tune and he didn't stay on the topic of the song. Somehow they both did the same thing. Like they weren't on topic. Like you're talking about the streets making you lose your soul and stuff, which is a very serious thing. And then you throw in a line about, oh, what was it? I bought that bitch a weave cause she ain't got no hair. Like where did that come from? Like why are we doing this? Like they did not stay on topic at all. Like this turned into like, okay, it could be a deep song to just a straight up nigga song. But again, it wasn't like I still was able to vibe with this song. But those are the only things I was like, I gotta lower your grade. I gotta lower your grade. What did you think of Conscience in
I
Future?
I had a similar feeling about it as well. Future, you're right, overdid on autotune, but it's Future, so surprise, surprise. We shouldn't be really acting like acting brand new about it. But yeah, you're definitely right about that though. Should have turned that all the way down. Um, I do feel that the song was probably the closest to being almost poetic about life in the streets, sort of changing you and changing your conscience. I do agree that that was a pretty good topic to choose. I'm like, you know what, for Kodak and what I've heard earlier, this is probably the most okay I've been in like in a good about half dozen songs now. So I was like, you know what, not bad. I will give this a not bad. I'll definitely admit that this song probably drew me in a little bit. Actually, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Kodak's part drew me in more than Future's part did.
Yeah, Kodak was definitely better than Future on this record.
So yeah, I feel like Future didn't really add what I wanted him to add to the song because I feel like when I saw the title of it, I was like, okay, Future's gonna be a feature. It has a good chance, and it ended up being backward. So yeah, as far as confidence goes, I'm more okay with it than I've been in for the first half of the song that weren't in my top three.
Okay. And so we already talked about Tunnel Vision. That was the song I like. This is where my struggle bus starts. Next few Gilbert songs, I don't really like them at all. Um, Court Links and JPay. What the fuck was this song about? Like, I don't even
Um,
know. Like,
I don't know either.
yeah, I wrote on my notes say, what? Good beat, but just no to the song. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell the song is. I have nothing nice to say about this song. His verse is whack. He didn't make sense. And then he was mumbling. And then I was like, what? I don't understand the purpose of the song. This is like probably the one of the first songs I was like, why did you make it? I don't understand. I did not like this song at all. If I had to pick the worst song on the album, this would be it. Because I was just like, what the fuck? And the only reason for people wondering why did we skip our worst song choice, since Michael hated the album, I thought it'd be pointless to do it. So,
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't address it, but I'm glad you did because I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Don't even know where to start.
so
But
I was
go ahead.
like, let's
You
skip this
damn right.
part. What do you think of Court Links and JPay? Was I too hard on it?
Um, I'm in the middle on it only because I agree with you. Like, I don't know what any of it means. I feel like there's some kind of meaning there that maybe some like slang there that maybe just I'm just not forward on very much. So I can't really like. I mean, maybe if I knew the meaning of like a lot of the slang in the song, I'd probably like have more of a connection to it. But because I'm so out of the loop with whatever language she was using for it, I just can't say that I have anything to say about the song. Like the delivery on the song, I'll admit, was a little choppy here and there because, like you said before, I think one of his saving graces on a lot of his songs are his beats. But like this is just one of them things where it's like the lyrics take me out, not the beat, and there's just no synergy between the two for the song for me, and that's kind of where I'm staying along with that right now.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, and this is a next song is Reminiscing. Now, here's my thing. I hated this song except for the hook, except for the chorus, which had Boogie with the hood, with the hoodie singing on it. I liked the chorus, and it was sus a
Wow.
little bit, but I didn't like anything else. I didn't like Kodak's verse. I only liked Boogie with the hoodie. I really only liked him. And I didn't know he could sing. He actually has a good singing voice. It's not like the typical rapper singing voice. He actually has a pretty good singing voice. I would have not known he was that rapper that we saw in the only good part of the freshman double XL
Mm.
cipher thing. I would have not known that was him if I didn't read it. But once us, like, he was reminiscing, but he's reminiscing about the wrong things. Like, he's like, yo, I remember selling weed in middle school. I'm like, nigga, what? That's what you were doing in middle school? Because I remember middle school. I wasn't doing anything like that.
Yeah, I
Maybe,
mean, clearly we're all going to different middle schools here because that's not something I ever reminisced about middle school at all.
no. What do you think of reminiscing? Did you like
I
Boogie with the hoodie?
that's why I'm actually going to start this review for it because I feel like his parts were my favorite. I'm not going to say he's a good singer to me, but I say he's good enough because it's not like he took me out the way that Kodak was when he was trying to sing. So I'm gonna give him that much at least. You're right about Kodak's part. Wasn't really feeling it. Um, the lyrics here and there, I think he pick and chose some really weird, and I don't know what kind of effect he was going for the subject matter of what he was reminiscing about because it goes kind of everywhere, and I was like, especially what you just said, especially when you go back to like middle school. I'm thinking think about reminiscing about something in the hood or something like that. I'm like which did come up here and there, but I don't know, and I feel like Boogie couldn't even really write off of that really too much, only because I feel like this was meant to be just like a Kodak lyric song instead of like a Kodak plus someone else lyric song. 'Cause I feel like when
Yeah.
you talk about this thing, it's probably going to be from one person's point of view. It should have just been from Kodak's, but it wasn't, and not really too sure. Like the song didn't really resonate with me at all. don't the real thing I came to the song trying to do was trying to evaluate Boogie with the Hoodie because the actually I think the second time I've heard of him in a song now, and he wasn't bad. Like
I mean, he
he's
was just there for the chorus, you know, so I
yeah,
wouldn't
you're
even call
right.
this like he didn't even get to rap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know that. I'm just saying. At least I know like what he can do now as far as like using a voice. Because you're right, he had no real like verses in it, but he at least added something to it. Like it's the only other, the third feature in the song on this album that I thought actually did something for the album. Jeezy, Bun B, and Boogie with the Hoodie. Granted, your part was small, was just enough. And at least now I know what he's capable of because I'm not really exposed to him very much. So that was kind of a learning experience for me.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, the most sus song on this fucking album is Side Nigga. Now, so it's kind of weird. He went all Trey Songz, Mr. Still Your Girl, talking about whining and complaining how this woman won't leave his boyfriend and how he's better than him and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? I don't know what to say about this song. It's so sus. Like there's no like saving it. I can't be like Kodak, I get you. Like no, no, like I don't understand.
Well, yes, man. I couldn't agree with you more because I listened to the whole song all the way through. And I had to have so much discipline to not skip the song because I'm like, this song is literally what the title says. It's about being a side nigga,
I
and
thought
he's just in the distance hating on another nigga with his girl with a girl he's into. I'm like, okay, what kind of shit is what? No. I mean, if I'm a self-respecting rapper, yeah, I'm not gonna like purposely let the world know that I'm on the side just hating, waiting for this guy to leave this girl or this girl to leave this guy. Like of everything you said on this album to make you look hard and shit, this is just one of them things where it's like that's sus. That pokes a hole in your logic because you man, this song is what the title says, yo. I don't know what else to say about it.
yo,
It's about being a side nigga.
yep, the definition of a side nigga. And like I was like, all right, the title's kind of weird, you know? Like I could think some other songs talks about being a side piece. Like as we lay by Kelly Price is a cover of a old Shirley Murdoch song. It's about being the side piece, but she makes it sound so good. But this ain't it. This is
Yeah,
not it. Even Trey
he could
Songz
have been a
does
rap
that,
before.
but he ain't.
Yeah.
This ain't it either. I think Juvenile had a lyric about that. No, his was the opposite. He said his girl fell in love with that outside dick. But
Huh,
he,
okay.
but that's what I thought he was gonna go. Like, oh, this bitch has a side nigga, blah blah blah. But no, he's like, I'm the side nigga, and I want your girl. And I'm like, all right, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm just thirsty. Yo. This is just a thirsty ass song, really, when you think about it.
This song is for thirsty niggas,
Yeah,
apparently.
pretty much. That's what I'm writing down for it.
Thirsty nigga song. Anyway, next song. Again, I'm still struggling at this point. I'm not liking any of these songs. I definitely don't like this next one. Off
Me
the
neither.
Land. Again,
Hmm.
good beat, kind of catchy, but I don't like this whiny rap shit he was doing on this album. I was just like, oh god, no. And I put in my notes, do not like this song. I just don't. It's
I
too
feel you.
whiny. It's just too fucking whiny. I couldn't deal with it. What do you think of Off the Land?
I thought that this. You said the beat was catchy. I couldn't even fuck with the beat on this one, to be honest. My main thing about the song, it was a typical like stereotypical rap gangster song. Like yo, just he hit like pretty much all the tropes of it. Like drugs were involved, guns were involved, and killing niggas was involved. It's pretty much a hood song. And I was like, but lyrically, and I was like, I get it, but that's not gonna resonate with me if it doesn't do anything different, yo. Like, I can still listen to like hood songs and still, get down with them lyrically and for the beats. But like this song was just neither of them. It was just like it's just a laundry list of shit that that happens in the hood. And I was like, okay, it's just a laundry list right now, son. What else? And that's kind of where I felt with that song, which is typical.
Yeah. All right. Now, this is probably the worst song on the album. Top Off the Benz.
Boy, oh boy, this is a very close. I don't saying a worst song for me right now is saying something special because
It,
this is a doozy, yo. Go
yo,
ahead.
Young Thug destroyed this song. Like, I didn't even mind Kodak. But Young Thug literally irritated the shit out of me on this song. I was just like, why? I put Young Thug, just no. He didn't elevate the song, and it hurt my ears with how much autotune he used on the chorus. I was just like, no. And I know he used a lot of autotune. I expected, but it was just annoying. I could not do it. Just too much. Just no. I have nothing nice to say, so I'm gonna stop talking about it. What do you got on about
Oh
top
boy,
off
it's my
Benz?
turn.
Yes.
See, I thought it was gonna be something cool because I was like, okay, when rappers start talking about cars, sure they're getting full of themselves, but like, it gives them something else to talk about. No, not this one. Let's get into Young Thug. A while back, I mentioned something about I think it was Jeezy we were talking about too, about how I wanted him to have more in the song because I feel like he did good for the song. This song was half Young Thug. I
More than
timed it.
half.
Probably was. I can believe that. This one was majority Young Thug. There was a point where I thought that Young Thug was going to handle the verses and Kodak was going to handle the chorus. I was like, yo, Kodak's the feature. And I agree with you about Kodak though, but only in the sense by it's by comparison. 'Cause I feel like if Kodak was by like his stuff by himself would still be shitty to me, but he found something shittier on the song to be compared to, which makes him not in last place. I was like, yo, what else I got here? I can barely hear Young Thug as usual, but I came in there expecting that, and he was there for half of the song, and I was just tired of Young Thug. I can't believe I actually saying I'm saying this right now, but I actually wanted to hear Kodak on this song. I was like, yo, I've hit a new low. I can't believe it's coming to my mouth. But yeah, that's really where I felt with this song. Young Thug, I am sorry, yo, you did not belong. You did not belong.
Okay. The next song is "Feeling Like," which we already talked about. That's my top of the song. That's my
Hmm.
favorite song on this album. Next one, "Why They Call You Kodak." Now, at this
Oh,
point,
oh,
I'm not actually struggle busting. I actually like this song, surprisingly. I thought the beat was amazing, but why they call him Kodak? Kodak is so weird. Like, I wrote down a line where you go, "Ain't no cameraman, but I shoot a nigga," and then he says, "If a nigga ever snatch my chain, I'll stop rapping." It's repetitive, but I like that he incorporated a clip from the Breakfast Club.
yeah.
And it's a hard ass song. I didn't have a problem with his delivery or his flow, but it's a typical gangster rap song. I have no problem with this song at all. This is for the first song out of the last like 6 or 7, which I was like, all right, I fucks with it. What about you? What do you think of why they call you Kodak?
I don't fuck with it at all. Just sort of off like that. I do think it was cool though. I'm gonna say something good first. I do think it was cool though that they took the snippet out of the Breakfast Club, even though that interview was essentially it came out to me at least because I remember watching the interview. It came out to me as if like they were coming off making fun of him, which probably for good reason because like he's not interviews aren't his thing. I'll say that because I don't think he handled himself very well in that interview. Like he
Oh,
had the
good.
whole balaclava on like the mask on and all that, and like he looked ridiculous. He claimed to be the best rapper alive, and when he asked why you say that, he just sat there looking silly, and I was like, okay. And the whole cameraman thing, that was on the spot, which got to me because I'm starting to thinking you had no reason for it before that, for your name before that. Because he said, yeah, that's how this someone starts saying now. They call me Kodak because I ain't a cameraman, but I'll shoot you. So what was the reason before that?
I don't know. That's what he
I
said.
don't
So
think I don't think he knows. I don't think he. That's where I'm coming from. I don't think he knows, and that it fucked with me because I'm like, you just made this song because you thought you sounded real cool saying that. Like he really bounced this whole song around that one incident, and I was like, the rest of the song outside of the whole Breakfast Club thing, still garbage to me. But whatever. At least I do like the fact though that he took like the one part in it where he thought he sounded cool at least. But whatevs.
all right, and then the closer of this album, there you go. Again, I thought really good beat. His flow was okay, and his verses was okay too. It could have been better, but I think this song had a lot of potential. And considering how I didn't like, let's see, the last, I want to say, the last 5 songs before Feeling Like, this was a good way to close it. I would have definitely took some songs out this album, but that's just me.
I agree.
I really enjoyed the last 3 songs. I thought he closed out his album okay. I think if he didn't have those last three, I would have thought he ended really bad. Especially if he closed it off at top off bends with Young Thug, I would have been like, nah, son, you don't want to do that. So, what do you think of the last song of the album?
As far as last songs go, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't ideal either. It was just barely passable, especially considering that it came after a song that I was not fucking with. And Why They Call You Kodak. Wasn't fucking with that song in the least. There He Go, at least like it wasn't a good song to me either, but it was better. I think a lot of my problem with the song album is songs are good by comparison to the one that came before it, because like it didn't suck as much. But like passable was the highest it'll probably get after the top three, with the exception for Jeezy song, because I pretty much just did that song for Jeezy. But I can't even, I'm mad I'm calling it Jeezy's song, but technically Kodak song featuring Jeezy. But yeah, there you go. It was okay. The beat was definitely a lot more appealing on this last song, which is what drew me in immediately when it started compared to the last song. But yeah, it's just passable to me. As far as last songs go on the album, I think people in this podcast know that I kind of hold on to high regard. Not ideal, not what I wanted, not an album I really wanted, to be honest. I tried giving it a chance, and you know, I felt like it was work to get through the album because I did not want to listen to a lot of these songs. Like maybe I'm just falling off of like hard rap because I'll at least call myself out on that because I haven't really been listening to too much of it. But even the little bit I have been listening to, it's not this because granted he's more legible than a lot of mumble rappers out there, but he's not to the point where it's like I'm gonna hear too much of his stuff outside of maybe Tunnel Vision on a radio, and Tunnel Vision I already don't fuck with, so it doesn't really matter to me anyway. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it for real.
All right, well, I guess that was also your closing remark on the album.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to put it. I didn't want to extend it any longer than I had to because it's like this. That it was work for me, yo. That's what it was work. But go ahead though.
All right, I'm gonna give my closing remarks. I thought this was an average rap album for today's rap. You know what I mean? For 2017, this was just an okay album. I think if you're more open-minded to ratchet music, you're probably going to find like some hits in here. I think there's some hidden jewel like gems, like Day by Day is really good. Candy Paint, I think up in here, but you know how and like I fuck with Tunnel Vision, but Michael's like, nah, son.
Ah, son.
And I I think
Mm,
there's a couple surprising verses in here by Kodak. And I was like, all right, you could like I think he has potential. And
potential, yeah. I'll give him that much. Like potential as far as lyrics go. Like no matter how such the song is, there's at least once like couple lines in there where like either maybe laugh a little bit, like wow, that was a little bit creative. I had no place in the song, but it was creative, or actually fuck with it. But like there were few and far between for me at least. I feel like maybe you're right. Maybe someone more open minded to like ratchet rap or hood or well sure I'll call it hood rap I guess because I don't know what else to categorize it as. Maybe someone else who has that kind of mindset can come in here and find something that they want. But I don't know. I honestly believe that for this podcast, we've been covering a lot of good hip hop, and this falls at the bottom of the bucket. But these aren't my closing remarks. These are yours.
yes, let's get back to my closing remark. I'm just saying, like honestly, this album was probably it was well produced. But he did waste a lot of the beats on this album. That's one of my complaints. I thought he could have did a lot more. He had really good beats. It was like he saw he had a good beat, but he didn't really do much with him. And I think he could do better. I think he needs to challenge himself more as a rapper. And like, let's say this was his first album. I say it's okay. It's a good starter. It will make money. It will sell. It will do all that. And then he can like push himself forward. He's not like a J. Cole to me or a Kendrick or even Action Bronson. I might have not liked his album, but I can't say he didn't have bars. You know what I mean? I could say
I
that with
would
Kodak, but I
I,
wouldn't say that
I
about
would
Action.
I would say he's a much much more watered down version of what you said earlier of Lil Wayne
No, I'm
because
saying on
that's
Day by Day, he
oh
sounded like
on the
oh
one song okay
yeah
on the
yeah.
one
It
song
wasn't in
sure
general. He sounded like
okay
Lil Wayne.
in general that's how I feel anyway but yeah I see what you're saying though.
Yeah, like he on Day by Day, I thought Kodak Black sounded a lot like Lil Wayne with his flow. Just
Hmm.
that song though. No, not any other song.
I feel
Um,
it was watered down. Like, sure, yeah, day by day, sure, it probably goes close to Lil Wayne, but I feel like everything else was just like watered down Wayne, like watered down early Wayne. Not even like after where I believe he at least like got better after like he looked like Fireman and all that kind of stuff and D Block or whatever, but like watered down all the way.
I mean,
This is
you're more of a Lil Wayne fan than me. Like, I honestly never
okay,
thought Lil
sure,
Wayne could actually rap, to be honest. But it
sure,
doesn't mean he doesn't have hits. And that's kind of what I feel about Kodak. I don't think he could really rap. Like, I wouldn't say he's like the best rapper of all time. I don't even he's definitely not the best rapper of modern day. That's definitely Kendrick or J. Cole. For me, J. Cole, but I know the world will say Kendrick. But he has potential and he could do better. And whoever made like produced this album with him, he should keep them and just build himself up more. I mean, he's only 20. He has time, as long as he stay out of jail. He
yeah.
has time. Don't pull a Bobby Smurder. I say just listen to this album and give it a try. I can't guarantee you'll like it. I will never guarantee you'll like an album. I thought it was okay. That's why I gave it a C plus. Michael just thought it was just failure. But
Goose egg.
listen to this album and like give us responses. Say, oh, you guys are too hard on this album, or like, Michael, you were right. This is trash. Yada yada. Or Shanique, it's okay. Okay, I agree he could have did better. You never know. You might agree with us. You might disagree with us. Just let us know what you think. We could take constructive criticism. It's okay not to agree with our choices of like what we think is good music versus bad music. And I'm gonna close out this podcast unless Michael had more to say about Kodak painting pictures.
I got plenty to say, but I don't want to waste everybody's time though. Like I got
To
listen, man,
rant?
the air in my lungs is precious. So I don't feel like using it on this right now. Okay.
Oh, the shade. Okay. Well, guys, you can find us on almost every podcasting app. We're also on iTunes at Echo Underground Podcast. Our website is also Echo Underground Podcast .podbean.com. You can email us your suggestions. Let us know what you think. Like I said, do you agree with our opinion on this album? And our email is echoundergroundpodcast@gmail.com. You could tweet at us, EchoUPodcast, because, our name's too long, so we had to shorten it for Twitter. um,
Yep.
and we're on Tumblr. We're on Facebook. All those are Echo Underground Podcast, except our Twitter, which is Echo U Podcast. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
See ya.